What is up?
Not much, brother. Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again to the Deep Dives with our host, Cortex, and co-host, Byronofsidius. Also in the background audio, you can hear little Malia giving her 2 cents in, because, you know, that's what she does. And for those of you who are video game enthusiasts, you may have recognized the tune that was playing for our intro. I myself am only vaguely familiar with it. It reminds me of an orchestral remix of Vampire Hunter X or Castlevania 4 intro song.
That would be Half-Life 2, Path of Borealis.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yep.
My bad.
But, I mean, still, like, to me, with Half-Life, if you've never played Half-Life, you're not a true gamer.
I've only played 2. I've never played the first one.
That counts. I mean, just for, you know, how revolutionary Half-Life 2 was for gaming. I mean, it introduced physics for multiple games.
Right. I mean, the engine that was used to build that went on to be almost spammed in the first-person shooter space, as well as some other types of games, just like 3D adventure games, period. Mm-hmm. A lot of indie game developers ended up using that as kind of their template for how to move forward and to produce engaging titles that people could interact with.
Apparently she thinks so too.
He approves. Just
I am living for Byron's dead hair this morning.
Yeah. Got a little bit of the alfalfa going on here. You know? See that, a little bit of cowlick, and that swoop just does not want to go down ever. It's
sorry, man, I get it too sometimes.
Yeah, I would normally be around the time of year where I'd be buzzing my head again, but it's already getting pretty bitter cold here in Minnesota, and I'm not sure that I want to go ahead and do that again just yet. So a couple of quick bookkeeping activities. Briefly, I am going to hit the restroom before we get started. We are going to be picking up where we left off last time with the deep dives, looking into yet another new video, or newer video, put out by Kane Pixels, who, as you folks who are familiar with us will know, produced the Backrooms series that we did a deep dive into as enthusiasts of analog / questionable transdimensional horror. And we are going to be continuing along that vein. I feel like I'm doing too much of the talking here. So
no,
I am going to,
not at all.
I will be right back.
It is known as the oldest view. That's what we'll be viewing. Damn, I gotta shave a little bit. Get a little scruffy. Oh geez, my camera's all unfocused. I guess for the meantime, I'm just gonna play some background music. Hey, it keeps the face warm. I had to put on some intermission music when you walked away.
I appreciate that, brother.
But you want to get into it?
Yes, let's us do.
All right, without further ado, part 3 of The Oldest View.
What's good, guys? White here.
Oh, the hell? Scuba Sam said, not to grow me one, the fuck you talking about? Grow a beard. Should probably reword that a little bit, Scuba.
Hey now. You never know.
Especially nowadays. But here we go, guys. Oh.
What's good, guys? Wyatt here, back again. So it's been a couple days since my last video. I'm in a rush right now just because I have to get to class in a few minutes, so I'll try to record this quickly. But anyway, I wanted to do a update video on what happened the other day at the end of my last video. So I haven't gone back down there since then, but I have gone to the site of the hole a couple times in the past few days. I took someone in the comments advice, and I was.
Why would you? Wait a minute. Why would you go back to the hole? Why would you go there, period, if you were able to get out?
I think this may touch upon a phenomenon that is talked about in some psychological research circles. Is what is known as the call of the void. It's a sensation that some people get when they are, for instance, standing near the edge of a large drop-off, where they can sense this almost innate urge to go ahead and just lean forward and throw themselves into the void, to catapult off into the unknown or towards one's own very well-known demise. There's it occurs a lot in folks who have a very low level suicidal ideation. It also occurs in folks who engage in high risk behaviors and who have
High octane.
Yeah, they have like an adrenaline junkie urge within themselves. A lot of them feel this, quote, call to the void. You see it discussed quite a bit in amongst French philosophers, many of whom I dismiss out of hand because so many of them were perverted little pederasts anyhow. But, you know, what do you want from a frogman? But trouble there. YouTube gods, please don't throw down the ban hammer on Cortex here. He has no responsibility for the dumb shit that comes out of my mouth.
For shame.
Shame. No shame on me. All right. Go to quote Rick Sanchez, go ahead and give me your booze. I've seen what makes you cheer. But yeah, what would compel this guy to go back there after having survived that first trip?
Dying curiosity.
Right, and like an undying curiosity, intellectual stimulation, or perhaps, and because, again, we kind of touched upon this briefly the last couple of videos, he appears to be some kind of influencer or online personality. Yep. And if the audience wants more, he's going to give them more, because so many of these types of folks are weak-willed, feckless little demagogues who, quite frankly, if their audience told them to tattoo a caterpillar across their face going from side to side, they'd do it just to try and get those likes, subs, and subscribes.
That's so true. But unfortunately, not for this guy. It ain't happening. Caterpillar, no go.
Was able to get a couple of trail cameras from my old botany professor. I ended up switching to business back in like January, but I went back to her and she was nice enough to lend out 2 of her trail cameras to me.
That's a
so I was able to take them out there, plant them, one out in the bushes looking at the hole and one in the hole, discreetly, of course. And I already know, like, you guys are going to say that.
Wait a minute. You're putting trail cams on someone else's property?
Right. Okay. I was just thinking, like, okay, wait a minute. You've admitted in the last video that you're on someone else's private property.
Kayla.
Now you're going to set up these trail cams on somebody else's, again, private property. I'd really like to know if this person went to the property owner and offered them money or some kind of plug or promotion to say, hey, I will shout out your business or whatever it is that you do if you let me do this stuff on your property. Either that or this guy has been spectacularly fortunate that the property owner has not caught him on the property.
Right.
That's totally sketch. It's private property. Yeah. All right, so sue me. If the landowners find this, sue me. Go ahead, try to do that. Yeah, but this.
Really, motherfucker? Really?
Okay. Now, previously, I might have wanted this narrator to survive. Now, I am full on, fuck him, let him die. I'm sorry. I am a small L libertarian. Property rights matter. Go ahead, try to sue me. How about they just seal over the top of the hole when they watch you go down there next time? Throw a couple of 100 pounds worth of scrap metal on top of the hole and say, hey, we're not going to sue you, but best of luck getting back out.
There's your tomb.
Right? See how many likes, shares, and subscribes we get filming you going down to your own demise.
Yeah, sue me because I'm a YouTube influencer because it's totally okay because likes and subs and I'm a YouTuber. Man, fuck off, dude.
You know how many Twitter followers I have? Not enough to save your ass.
Right. Unless they have like fucking SEAL Team 6 and a Blackhawk to get your ass out of here. But
there's no way I'm walking away from this thing. I need answers. So I set up the trail cameras and I didn't see anything. No one showed up. I got like one deer, a lot of glitches, like a lot of pictures of nothing moving grass. But yeah, I didn't see anyone the whole time. So that definitely doesn't really answer any questions, like why there is a mile-long staircase going down to what looks like a shopping mall in the middle of nowhere. But it makes me less hesitant to go back. Because last time I started, especially on the way out after I stopped recording.
Makes you less hesitant? Does this look fucking normal to you?
No, but this guy is huffing his own farts and is obviously high on his own supply. Must assume that nothing bad can happen to him because, you know, YOLO!
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what the last O in that stands for, you dipshit? Once. You get one go at this. And then when you meet your maker and the Almighty looks at you and says, you went into a trans-dimensional space. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? I should send you down to the fiery pit just for being that dumb.
Yeah.
I got very paranoid I was going to run into people. Like I tripped some sort of silent alarm, but it seems really devoid.
Could you imagine if this place had an alarm? And whatever would come of it? What would be the repercussions?
Yeah, here's a better question for this fellow. He says he was worried about running into someone, another person. Given the surreality of the environment you find yourself in, if you run into a someone, it's more than likely going to be a something. And whatever that something is, it's going to pan fry up your kidneys and your liver for a snack later on in the day. They might have it with some crushed Funyuns over top for some extra flavor. But otherwise, they're eating your insides.
British Bulldog said, cupcakes.
Void of life. There's no one around.
Since British Bulldog is here, yeah, I had cookies yesterday. Since you're like the cookie connoisseur, that is British Bulldog.
All right, so I got a dip for now, but my plan is to head back out to the woods later today and record a part 2. So see you there. All right, so we're out here. I've been walking for like 30 minutes now. Got off the trail a little while ago, and from here it's pretty much just like a straight shot through these woods. So it's nice, a couple miles. Finally, here we are. And it looks untouched. Yeah, it looks exactly the same as when I was here yesterday when I picked up the trail cams. I even set up some sticks down there to tell if someone had walked. So it looks like no one's been here since yesterday, at least, and no one had been there for a few days before. You can see over here, this is that's where I put the outdoor trail cam. Looking over here directly at the hole. You can see that's the spot where I put the other camera. Oh, and also this light right here. This went out sometime while I was away. I noticed when I was watching back the last video. I'm not sure what to make of that. You know, I'm still on the fence about sharing any info with the location here. Just because I don't know who I'm going to attract with this, and I don't know what I'm getting into. This is clearly no fucking joke, the scale of this thing. But I did a deep dive.
What was your first fucking clue, dude? This is clearly not a fucking joke. Like,
for sure, man, this is not a joke. Something bizarre is happening. What was your first clue? The fact that there's an entire structure here that seems to have been built under the ground in the middle of fucking nowhere with electrically powered lights that are managing to stay on, even though the first, the one at the top, he says burned out.
Yeah.
Where's the wiring? Where would all of the power come from to power those lights?
Not only that, I mean, even though the lights are inside, I mean, sure, they could probably be battery operated, but like if they are wired, do you realize how much work that would have to go into this whole thing?
Right.
For them to be wired into the wall.
And don't forget, he has specifically mentioned that this hole in this stair shaft is literally miles away from anything. So
there would be no grid.
Where's the power coming from?
Right.
So you either have deeper down within this structure, this facility, some kind of generator that is self-contained and housed within the facility, or you are dealing with Q-dimensional space. Now, the odds of an influencer or YouTuber of the sort that this narrator seems to be being familiar with such concepts is about as likely as me going and winning the Miss Minnesota beauty pageant. All right? It's not going to happen, especially with a smile like this. All right? That and I've got man bosoms, but they're not genuine tits. So I don't think this fellow has that in mind. Be right back.
Oh boy. It's not every day when you hear about Byron talking about his tits. But when he does, well, I guess he just will then. Yeah, this guy's a fucking idiot. Moobs. Moobies. Big moobers. Yeah, it's definitely what would we call that? A theory or a question? More like a question and a theory, maybe a hybrid question. I would definitely be scared of what's down there. And whatever wired the lights, for sure. Whatever anomalous activity or anomaly or anomalous creature that's living within the confines of this, I guess, structure, as Byron called it.
You heard mention of cookies in chat. You reading chat? Let's see. M&M cookies. You give me cookie now. Me want M&M cookie. No. All right, sorry.
It's a questionable theory. I think that's what we'll go with. So Scuba kind of made a very good question. She said I would be more scared of what wired the underground lighting.
That's a fair shake. That's definitely a fair shake because you've got no idea if it be man or beast.
Yeah.
Back online after I got back last time and didn't really come up with anything. There's like a mining company that owns part of the land here, but I think all of this is just owned by a family, not anyone like particularly notable, just like locals, I think. None of you are getting a Lego.
There's no fucking way that miners would have created this nicely.
No, definitely not that squared off and that regular. Like we've seen yesterday that some of the stairs are uneven, some of the steps are differently shaped than others. But regardless of that, you're not going to have miners who are putting this much care and attention into creating mostly uniform steps for someone to trespass down into this, whatever this is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm getting like on the way back having to climb up those stairs again, and then.
Hold on 1 second. British Block said did they use a registered electrician? Who knows?
Well, sure, they're registered in the 73rd and a half dimension, but they're registered.
And all the way up through the woods, it was like dark.
Hey, as long as they got their white hard hat, they're OSHA approved, right?
For like a solid hour walking back. I thought it was gonna fucking.
Did you have to add something?
Yeah, the multi-limbed nightmare creatures from Monsters Inc. had white hard hats too. I wouldn't necessarily
yellow.
hands with them. Malia agrees.
Yeah, honestly, they've been sore for days, and this is not going to help. But it's good. Okay. Just going to be quiet for a second. Okay, yeah, we're good. We're good, folks. I think I forgot to mention this, but also day after the last video, or the day before I put the cameras, and the day I put the cameras, I hung around for a little while, sort of scouted the area just to see if I could find any other equipment, just traces of people, really at all. Didn't see anything. There was no tire tracks. Didn't see any footprints. It's like whatever this is, it's very much a back door. There's 100% other entrances, but
Cortex, I can't hear you, brother.
Because I muted myself like a dummy. But anyhow, my question still stands, even though it was in void. How do you know this is the only entrance?
You don't. Obviously, he wasn't supposed to find the first entrance up top side that he did. But the fact
I'm
of the
sorry.
matter,
How do you know this is a back door? Let alone, how do you know that there is a entrance? How do you know anything?
right at this point, he's operating with a great many a priori presumptions.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, this fellow's self-preservation instincts, I think, are less active than the 4-month-old over here making sweet noises. She at least is cute.
Yeah. You're not very bright, buddy. There's a steps you're talking about.
Yep, the malformed steps. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, really quick, but wasn't yesterday or the previous video, wasn't there a light working within this stretch, or was it just the camera light? I don't remember.
I do believe I remember there being lights working here.
okay. Yeah, see, I don't feel used to this after last time. This is still very. See, I think it smells like cut grass smell.
Scooby says, I feel like she knows what's down there.
Possibly. Maybe her noises are warnings like, dude, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it.
Right. It's cornfield kind of smell.
Cornfield kind of smell.
Same. Rust. I don't hear any music this time.
Uh-oh.
All the lights are still off. Everything looks closed still.
All right, so scale from 1 to 10, how much are you shitting yourself at this point?
Oh, at this point, my pants are more loaded than the 4-month-old whose butt I just changed a few minutes ago.
Yeah, mine are probably more loaded than our commander-in-chief's.
Like at that point, if you've ever played the game Castle Crashers, you know how the one level the deer get spooked and they poop themselves and turbo
Yeah, they start flying. Yep.
Yeah, that's how much I'm shitting myself. I'm flying through the stage from left to right.
I feel like I'm the bear in that situation where he's behind the bush and his eyeballs get big. You see the little fragments of shit flying behind him.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah.
love that game.
Fucking yeah, definitely a beautiful game. Hilarious, but definitely beautiful game. You already know it's bad that the music's not playing.
Right. We've got a difference from the previous exploration in that more of the lights in the stairwell have blinkered out.
So wait, I just noticed something.
What's that?
Did you notice the ceiling lights are dimmed? They're
Yes.
still on.
They're on, but they are dimmed as if we are past operational hours, or there's not as much available energy being provided to these lights.
Mm-hmm.
My knees are killing me.
I'm sure you're used to it. Said my knees are killing me.
I thought that's what he said.
Wait a second. Okay. And it's like completely silent. So I shouldn't even be shining a light, ideally. But look at this shit. Look at this, man. See if we can get it open. I think you need a key, but this is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever done in my life. Ready? 3, 2, 1.
Is he really saying that?
Good timing, Malia. Yes, he is saying that. And I can't say as I would necessarily disagree with him.
No.
But honestly, I think the stupidest decision this fellow has made thus far was going back down here after, as you pointed out, brother, he managed to survive the first trip down to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
This defies all rules of survival in a horror film or horror story of any sort. You don't go back to the spooky, fucked up place that may be connected to another dimension.
That makes absolutely no structural sense.
Right. You've clearly passed beyond the realms of our non-physical space and operations. The laws of physics may not be operating anymore in any knowable favor to how you operate. If you want to see or test how things are different, maybe bring a couple of objects with you halfway down those steps, like a pen and a rubber bouncy ball. And if when you throw the rubber bouncy ball, it flattens into the wall and starts singing hymns from the passages of the Old Testament, then maybe you just turn around and get the fuck out of there.
Or maybe perhaps a gun.
Right. You know,
and not for the whatever you encounter, but for you.
right. You only need one bullet. You know?
Right. Yeah.
Now we got to be careful right now. YouTube goes.
I'm not going to say that.
Yeah.
You know, supposedly,
Right.
allegedly.
In Minecraft. Yeah.
That's loud.
What the fuck? What the fuck just happened?
It seems to me he was trying to slowly raise that partition gate, and then either some kind of winch or perhaps the rollers from disuse, when they finally caught, yanked the gate the rest of the way up out of his control.
Oh,
Which obviously gave him a fright, created a lot of noise. If there was anyone/anything down there that overheard the crashing open of that gate, survival instinct finally took over, finally
Fight or
took
flight.
control
Yeah.
in its proper function, and he booked it the hell away. So the question ultimately is, what the fuck is he doing now, going back without a weapon?
Yeah.
You need a flamethrower, an M16, and a priest.
And a boomstick.
The next one of you primitive fuckheads who comes near me will feel its wrath.
Oh, dear God. There is so much fuck no in this.
Are those like flickering lights in the far distant background, or is that just the display?
I can't tell myself. I think there might be glass or something that
Okay.
it's reflecting on or
Light
something.
refraction.
Yeah. Midtown Art Walk. Third Saturday of each month, 6 to 10 p.m. Fine art galleries and open artist studios. Over 100 local artists represented, including painting, sculpture, metal art, jewelry, fiber art, photography, poetry, and glassworks.
Gallery art, and what is that last part on the very bottom of the banner? There's a website.
Gallery@midtown.com. And there's even a phone number. 469-374. I want to say it's 6491. Yeah, it's a 6.
All right, I am currently in
Dallas,
my other
Texas.
tab going to the gallery at Midtown. All right. Copyright 2015. Yep. Preston Road, Dallas, Texas.
British Bulldog's calling it. It's ringing it now.
Nice.
Oh boy. Yeah, British, let us know what you get. I might do the same. I might call it.
Now look, I have seen several other examples of analog horror, both here on YouTube and in a couple of other places online, some of the more artsy-fartsy kind of communities that I tend to find myself being drawn to because I am an artsy-fartsy person myself, wherein they will set up entire websites, they will set up phone services, they will set up these very shallow, limited surface layer kind of call screening, like not centers, but they'll get these secondary accounts that are used for the express purpose of kind of giving people a creep out, a feeling like, oh crap, there is something genuinely to this. There's something behind this. They hang up or they sign off of the website. They scurry away because they've touched upon something that stems from the analog horror lore itself. Yes, British, like a cover, there's a surface layer, something there to connect to.
So Tell me why when I go to the website, it was giving me like a warning.
That happened to me too. Let's go to the workshops tab. Like it said, it's not secure, right?
Yeah.
And there's a director at gallery at midtown.com. There's an email address for a John Dewey.
Mhm.
It continues to say that the site is not secure, which I will say for most actual like artistic workshops, anything that has any kind of government backing or funding, anything that is registered tends to be secure. So this to me kind of raises a little bit of a red flag.
Here's a bigger red flag. The latest event was in 2016.
Okay, so I think what we may have found here then.
Here, hold on. I'm gonna share this real quick.
All right.
Yeah. Good God. (2015, 2012). This shit's dating like kind of old. Not like super old, but old enough.
Right. There's definitely something that just doesn't seem right. Half of the names on here you can click through, but they bring you to yet more not secured sites. Web hosting by domain.com for this artist. And domain.com,
bro, this is going back to 2013 and
direct
2012
to an Australian.
sponsor.
I'm smelling shenanigans.
Yeah. Same. Damn. Membership levels: modern 100, contemporary 50, classic 25. What the fuck? Supporting sponsorships. Wow. Yeah, these are all the way back in 2015. Like 2015, 2013, 2014. This is kind of wild. Join our mailing list? Absolutely not.
No, thank you. We don't need to be receiving emails from the 78th and a third dimension. Thank you.
Yeah, no. I'm good.
That does bring to mind the question, though. Is it possible that these are just that this is an older site, that it's something that maybe is just no longer in use? It's a lot of dead sites and whatnot.
That's like some dark, like fucking the dark web type shit. Like the way the website is, it's not like a very modern looking site.
Right. So So maybe it is just set up specifically for this particular analog horror series.
Yeah. What if it was some kind of cover of for people dealing in art theft? I don't know. We got 9 people in the live. Appreciate y'all coming through. What the fuck is this? Even I don't really know, but we're kind of getting into it.
I'll be right back. I gotta make a phone call.
Oh, you're good. It's Kane Pixel's video. It's called The Oldest View. This isn't Cacomelon. No, not yet. Then someone stole all the art. Yeah, maybe. It's definitely different. I'm gonna wait for Byron to get back here, and then we'll get back to it. Yeah, no biggie. Or Cocomelon. Whatever that is. Yeah, that website was kind of weird. Definitely, I got some bad vibes from it.
Now, this is one of those, again, this is one of those situations where it's very possible this was set up by Kane Pixels to give us some lore.
Yeah.
To give us some kind of, okay, people are going to see this banner. They're going to do what internet sleuths tend to do. Just go hopping down the bunny trail and see what they can see. And this will lead them to either a dead end or a possible self freak out. We just spent how much time looking into this?
Currently about an hour.
No, I meant just specifically
this
this poster, okay, this banner. This sent us on a good 10, 12-minute tangent looking further into the material.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that we touched upon and that we both kind of observed about his previous series, The Back Rooms, that there are things hinted at. There are things hinted at in coffee. Oh my. There are things hinted at within the material that end up sending audiences off on their own kind of fact-finding, myth-finding adventure. It adds a layer of interaction and interactivity to the audience within the confines of this art project that give it that much more, not relatability, but makes it that much more engaging. This is something that you don't get out of modern, quote unquote, properly made or popular mainstream entertainment products, television shows and movies, that they don't compel their viewers to really engage in a thoughtful inspection of its elements, of its internal logic, whereas this does. And something that many more modern kind of artistically bent people in places like New York and Hollywood could learn a lesson from. People want to be engaged with your material, and this is part of how you do it.
Mm-hmm.
Drop hints without slamming them over the head.
It's kind of like Dark Souls or a Souls-like game anyway.
Right. Especially like Bloodborne.
Yeah. Like every little nook and cranny you search for, and you look for every little thing. it doesn't matter if it's a dead end or not. You're gonna find something. Hopefully, something good. Maybe a mimic. Who knows?
Right. It could very well, whatever you find, decide it wants to eat your face.
I love that like description. He's gonna turn into a ghoul from Fallout.
What are you looking at, smooth skin? I remember the last time your people came down here. You took our women and you took all of our guns. You're not coming back this time without a fight.
Fucking love it, dude. Brilliant. Whoa. I mean, he didn't have to. He didn't do anything too much, but it's up to your discretion, though. Anyhow, let's get back to it.
Yep.
So all that, like, the little lights, I think it maybe just might be artifacting from the camera. Maybe some sort of disruption.
Okay.
Or a reflection, I don't know.
How big is this place? This is massive. How do you build something? I'm still in shock. Fucking shock. Okay. Can you name 8 veggies that start with the letter B? Okay. This is literally like the backgrounds from TikTok.
Did he really? Did
Time
he
out.
really?
Time out. Flag on the play. Flag on the play. Self-referential material. Douchebag move. 15-yard penalty.
Napkin,
Lost
here's
the
my white
down.
flag. Oh my god, he just said the backgrounds.
I am curious to see if this influencer stops to take a moment to aim the camera up, because did anyone else notice there is a skylight overhead from which illumination is coming?
That is true. But it's also very dim too.
That's what this is. So many chairs.
Would you like me to rewind back to that, Byron?
Yes, rewind back to that, and then I gotta take a call.
Okay. But can you name 8 veggies that start with the letter B?
It's massive. How do you build?
He's right. There is light coming from the skylights. That is interesting. Wait, did you say where's your brother, Sam? Do you know this person, Scuba? All right. I mean, if you're gonna be a dick, just Scuba. If you want to do the honors, I'm gonna give you full permission. That is up to your own discretion, but I'm not gonna. Yeah,
That's an Adam Sandler reference, isn't it?
it is, but I don't know if he's just being a dick or if he's actually joking.
But yeah, that skylight is, where's the light coming from?
I think this might be better. Yeah. I don't give a shit today now.
I'm still in shock. Fucking shock. Okay. Can you name 8 veggies that start with the letter B? Okay. This is literally like the backrooms from TikTok. You're filming in the backrooms. That's what this is.
So here's the thing about that. Him referencing the fucking backrooms and then being in this spot in particular. Why the fuck would you stay?
Right. Like, okay, hey, it reminds me of the back rooms. The next thing that should happen is us hearing him say, "Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
What happened to those guys?" And then the camera shaking as he's booking the fuck back up those stairs.
Yeah. That's so foolish to reference that, dude.
Async Corporation has moved forward with their plans to install a mall in the Q-dimensional space. Dipshit, get out.
Mm-hmm.
Place this goes off in all directions.
AMC Theater.
AMC. It's a fucking AMC.
Do you have diamond hands?
Some kind of doomsday bunker.
Valley View Center at Dallas Midtown. Thank you for shopping. All shops will remain open throughout redevelopment. It's even got a little Twitter and Facebook symbols on there.
Thank you for shopping. Valley View Center.
ShopValleyViewCenter.com. I'm looking it up. I swear, if this puts me in like another like fucking non-secure link, I'm gonna flip. It's not even loading up. The site cannot be reached. So unfortunately for the site, I can't reach it.
Yeah, and when I went to valleyviewcenter.com, it says that the website is for sale, and the website is currently available at $1,575 from GoDaddy. So perhaps it was purchased temporarily for use of the project.
Maybe. Wait, what?
I should have brought a better flashlight. I should have brought a better flashlight.
Oh, you should have brought a lot of things. Whoa. You see that distortion in the camera?
I did not. You may have to rewind a few seconds for me.
No, it's currently happening right now. It's gotten a lot blurrier.
Like this, actually, the blur effect.
Yeah, look. It might be the lighting there, but because there is no lighting and the camera's trying to make up for it.
Yeah, it's an elevator. And these all look like shops. So this is like a proper mall. I don't know how far I want to go in here, but until I hear something, I think I'm just gonna keep going. See what I see.
What? What? What kind of fucking logic is that?
He heard something, so he's going to go investigate it. This is horror movie 101. You don't go toward the source of an unknown sound. I'm also being put in mind right now of a very particular SCP, the Infinite IKEA.
Yes. Yes. I know exactly what you're talking about. With the weird staff.
Yeah, the faceless subhumanoid 7.5 foot tall staff members. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that particular SCP can be one of our deep dives. If you are interested at all, let us know in the comments or in the chat, and we may very well decide that the Infinite IKEA deserves its own deep dive episode. We shall see.
To add on to that, to anybody who watches my game streams, there is a game based on that as well. They had to remodel it due to some legality reasons, but it's still based on the idea of the Infinite IKEA, where no matter how far you go, you're never getting out of it.
That's pretty neat. That's pretty awesome.
Pretty gnarly.
Fourth wall break here. Yes, I recognize that what I just did is an example of exactly what I accused this influencer of doing earlier, which is like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you want to see in the next video, folks. Well, here's the difference. We're not trying to make a living doing this. We're just enjoying ourselves.
Indeed. Very much so.
How far along are we at this juncture?
We are currently 16 minutes and 40 seconds.
Okay. My laptop has only got about 25% charge left, and I need to plug it in down in the basement. So unfortunately, I think this might have to be kind of a cutoff point for us.
Okay.
So if you want me to write it down, or do you want to make a marker of it?
What I can do is I'll just take a picture of where we left off.
Picture time.
All right. There we go. Oh, yeah. Because since we were talking about emulators earlier, I had to bring up a good point. Something kind of interesting to think about. And me and Scuba were kind of like on a Discord call, like just I was showing her like Contra and some other older games. And did you guys know there were passwords for save points back in the day for PlayStation?
Passwords?
Passwords.
Like on PlayStation games?
Yes. If you didn't have a memory card, you had a password that would remember the progress.
Really?
Yeah.
How did you even get to that?
So you would take it and write it down, whatever it may be. And then there would be a certain point where you could load the game, whether it be through a save file or a password. And I guess the password would accumulate all the data into one point and have you start off there.
That's kind of neat. Now, I know like some games had a password option, especially early on, like what was it? Some kind of Skull Monkeys. I remember operated on a password system. That was a very early PlayStation 1 game. Mm-hmm. But are you talking about like other games?
Most games. I didn't know that was a thing back in the day. Of course, me being, fucking young and dumb playing games, just like, ooh, pretty colors on a screen. But, thinking about it now, I'm like, wait a minute. We didn't even need a memory card. We just had to remember a password to get back to a certain point.
Right. Like, I've been playing video games for a very, very long time. Like, I'm talking Atari 2600. I had the joystick with the one orange button. And like the very first game that I remember using a password for was Castlevania 2, Simon's Curse on the Nintendo. And it was a 16 character password that you could enter in order to return to the last spot you were at. I even remember the ultimate password for that game that I had back in the day when I was playing it. It was an end game password where you start off in the beginning village, but you had all the equipment, all of the parts of Dracula, and access to the backward lake that you could crouch down next to in order to gain access to Dracula's final castle. It was O2KC IQCU R12SXVAI. I have tried putting that password in on my little emulator here on this Datafrog SF2000. And guess what? The password doesn't fucking work.
Oh,
the shit. And I went online. I was like, wait a minute. I remembered this password. I had it memorized for years. Why isn't it working? And come to find out from doing a little digging on different message boards online that the password only works for batches of a cartridge.
That's what I figured.
For every every 15,000 copies of a batch, for every batch, single batch of that game, It had one set of passwords that would work for it. So I had this thing memorized for decades, and it's no use. It's useless knowledge unless I can discover exactly which batch of the game I had and try to download a ROM for that specific batch of copies of the game.
I mean, it could be possible, like, if you think about it.
It could.
Like,
but
if you had that ROM of that game and uploaded it to your computer and then used it on an emulator, you could still potentially use it.
Right, it would work.
Yeah.
But there's no way in hell I'm going to go through all that footwork. I'll just play the game again from the beginning.
I mean, I could help you walk you through it.
We can see.
Project for another time.
Indeed, indeed. But anyhow, ladies and gentlemen, from my home here in Minnesota and from the little butt and the other little butts, I would like to say thank you, brother, once again for having me here.
As always, absolutely.
And next time we will pick up where we left off. We will proceed with this series so long as we've got material to continue analyzing and saying, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
For sure. For sure. Tomorrow I'm free. Are you, by any chance?
It is possible I'll have some morning time free like I did today. Well, free, but I've got that,
That, and I'm also going to be free for the next couple of weeks. So
that's true. That's true. So, ladies and gentlemen, from the Calkins home, I thank you and bid you adieu.
All right, guys. I think that's going to be all for the day, but I appreciate everybody for hanging out and, definitely tapping into some. I guess this would be like a different look at the back rooms, but for what it is, I definitely thank you all for showing up and checking it out with us.
Looking into the old view.
The oldest view.
The oldest view. Emily is
she is too, apparently.
Yep. Oh, and before I go, one last really quick thing. And then the next time you bring me cookies, you bring me the cookies directly. I'm talking to you, Sam. You cookie. Nom, 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 nom. All right, everybody. So there are probably monsters in that mall, but not friendly monsters like me. I tend to be pretty friendly by comparison to things that will tear out your soul and devour your brain. Yep. So, bye, everybody.
All right, everybody. We're out of here. Much love, y'all. All right.